to the 5th Live with Hui Hui and Lim Tian.
Hi everyone.
Hello, good evening.
How come every live show that you do is always at a secret location and different one? You're a secret agent. Hui Hui?
Because everybody is afraid of being politically persecuted by the AGC. So we have different location or appear to be in different location.
Okay. My next question is for Lim Tian because I think this question is designed specially for you. In today's news, the Speaker of Parliament said that MPs should not make false allegations in Parliament. Right? I'm sure you have something to say about that, right?
I do not know on what basis he uttered those statements.
Sorry, not false. MPs should not make unfounded allegations in Parliament.
You know, let me say this. I have been very critical of the conduct of this speaker. All right? And I find him very wanting in his job. And I do not want to repeat what has been said, on so many occasions, whether in social media or otherwise, as to how he performs his job. But I do not take him seriously. All right? And it is a sad reflection of our politics, my friends. When the Speaker of Parliament is not only a member of the PAP, but a CEC member. All right? A CEC member. And the other day, there was a picture of him having lunch with Goh Chok Tong and all his other Marine Parade MPs together. In Britain, once the Speaker is elected, he cuts off all ties with his party. Okay? It is a convention in Britain because every person, including the Speaker, must be a member of Parliament. You know what happens at the election? There will be no opposition opposing him, so he walks in. But once he is elected a Speaker, if let's say he was formerly a Conservative MP, he cuts off all ties with his party. How can it be that in this country, we have a Speaker that is not only a member of the PAP, has lunch with his fellow MPs, and is a member of the CEC of the party? You tell me. Hey, we are not small kids, all right? You talk about impartiality and all that. There is a maxim in the law. Justice must not only be done, but seem to be done. All right? You tell me, you look at this situation and you understand the background. Hey, any small kid will ask Papa, Mama, hey, how can the Speaker be really impartial, right? So I am sorry to that question, which you asked me. It comes in one year and it goes out the other year. I don't take seriously what he says. Okay?
Hui Hui, when you get into Parliament, and you always say that the government is sometimes not transparent. For example, you always say, why the government never disclose the breakdown of the workers in the Singaporean and PR. They always lump together as residents or locals. Okay? So my question to you is this, Hui Hui. When you enter Parliament, how are you going to deal with this problem of that you should not be opening your mouth to say anything that is unfounded allegations?
First thing, the government should the people inside the Parliament should actually ask the government for breakdowns on how many jobs are given to Singaporeans, what kind of job, or the salary. This kind of thing, there should be breakdowns on it. And the government should also provide transparency on how our CPF money is being taken away, and then how much they earn from it, and how much they're giving back to the people. And for the money that are not being returned back to the people on the returns of our CPF, what is this money sitting there and what are they doing with it? Because the government keeps saying there's no money. If there's no money, then what is all this money that is sitting there? Where is it sitting and what is it doing? So these are the transparency that we need. Then they need to break down on the type, on the housing condition, how much is being built, how much does it cost to build a HDB flat, and not ask Singaporeans to go and stay in rental flat whereby 9 meters square and 10, 20, 24 people need to share one toilet. Who is going to wash the toilet? Isn't that going to have even more conflict than the current system?
Well, Hui, you're like one minister in parliament, no? Always one simple question, not a very long speech. But you see, on this subject, Lin Tian, I think what Hui has told us is that since the government is sometimes not transparent in so many things, how do you ensure that you are not making an unfounded allegation, right? Because you don't know what the government is not.
Let's put it this way. You look at the latest debate, which is a big fiasco. They were patting themselves on the back and saying how well they did for COVID. Alright? Yet when the WP says you please produce the full report, they refuse to, right? And what do they produce instead? A so-called white paper. How do you know that that white paper is actually representative of the entire review? And if you want to be transparent, what is the problem in reviewing the full findings of that paper? There's nothing to hide, right? I mean, 2 years ago, was it 2 years ago or a year ago? I was one of the first, in fact the first I think, who said we must have a commission of inquiry. Because, every day our infected people were what? 19,000, 20,000, 20,000, alright? There was a stage where there were so many, alright? And then, no, they said they were going to have this, I don't know what action review, I don't know what name they dreamt of. And they said they were going to have that review. Okay, have that review. And you mean even after that review, you dare not reveal to Singaporeans what is the full report all about? How are we going to be transparent?
Hui, I believe the government response to this issue that Lin Tian just mentioned was that because the white paper is more comprehensive than the internal review report, therefore there's no need to, disclose the...
Well, then I say disclose both. Disclose both. Alright? Then you should be proud of the fact. And if you disclose both, you can tell people, look, my white paper is actually more comprehensive than the review itself. Right? Why have people go away thinking, oh, why can't you review the report? Is there something to hide?
By the way, Hui, you were telling me on the way here that you have never gotten COVID before, right?
No, I didn't say that.
No, man. I thought you said every time you test, don't have is negative. Okay, never mind. Since we're talking about COVID, my question to you is this, Hui. Do you know in the last 2 weeks, roughly how many COVID cases there are in Singapore?
It's not known because a lot of people got it, but they don't report it already.
Okay lah, you don't have to report. But those who report in the last 2 weeks, roughly